Why do most entrepreneurs confuse motion, action, with actual progress? We're going to find out why. One of the traps that entrepreneurs fall into after their first big win is that they confuse movement with actual progress. Keep in mind, your first big win may well be just luck. Make sure it's because you planned it. Just because revenue is up doesn't mean that your company's being successful. Just because you're busy does not mean you're accomplishing anything. So today I want to break down for you what real progress looks like within a growing business and get rid of all the fluff. Revenue is results. It is the product of all the decisions and all the actions you take for the company. If all you do is go after revenue, however, you'll find that you're pursuing the wrong customers, you're building the wrong products, and you're chasing many different things at once that don't scale well. The important thing is not how much money you're making. The important thing is how well you're operating for the long haul. If your goals are not leading you towards long-term results, you've got the wrong goals. Don't just ask, how much are we making? Although that's important, but ask, how well are we operating as a company? The question you should be asking is, how am I going to please my clients? Because that's ultimately where your income comes from. That's ultimately where your success comes from. It's not how much money you make this month. I mean, eventually you've got to make the money. I'm not arguing against that. You've got to be able to know where you're going, but the best way to do that is to focus not on the income, but on the success of your customer. Focus on the results, making sure you meet what you have promised. When it comes to the difference between selling cheaply and selling a high-quality product, I have never found selling cheaply is better. Always have good quality. It is much easier to lower the necessary price of a good product than it is to add quality to a shoddy one. I want to share with you something that I've been working on for a long time that is very important to me, and that is a Discord channel for business. On it, there will be a lot of free information, but also access to me. So you can have the ability to ask me questions, and I can respond to your particular problems and difficulties, and also help you get started. I'm really looking forward to being able to interact with you individually on there. I look forward to seeing everybody on there, and I will be waiting for you. Now, let's get back to our video. If you've cut corners in building your product, if you have not included the best hardware, the best software, the best testing, if you have not done that, and now you decide that you have to, first of all, that's going to cost you an awful lot more money than it would have if you put it in there in the first place. And second of all, you're going to have a lot of pissed off customers. Revenue is a lagging indicator. If all you do is track it, you'll be slow on finding the problems. You'll be missing the red flags. Don't do that. You need to track revenue, of course you do. But that's not the key to success. So start measuring what matters. Profit margin, retention of customers, cost of acquiring customers, expansion of customers' activity, track delivery time, refund rates, employee retention, all those things that tell you how well you're doing at setting a constant pace towards success. You can have a $500K month and still be losing control if your back end can't support it. Some people think that expansion is the best thing possible, and usually you mean expansion of revenue. That isn't true, because if you can't maintain it, you're going to waste your time in chaos and confusion. It looks good to have rapid growth. Everybody likes to report a good bottom line that is growing very, very rapidly. But if the company cannot support that, if the company is cutting corners in order to achieve that, cracks are going to get exposed and things are going to fall apart very, very quickly. Make sure you are making slow progress, but making it consistently at all times towards your goal, and you'll find you get there an awful lot faster than if you try for record sales. Ask yourself, can I support 50% more clients? And if so, what does it take me to do it? And of course, it will take a different team. It'll take a larger team, or else you've got a bunch of people sitting around doing nothing. Neither of those are good things. If you have to expand quickly, you've got a problem, because you're going to be spending a lot of money acquiring those employees, and then you're going to have to train them, and then you're going to have to get them ready. Be careful. If you expand relatively slowly your customer base and the amount of money you're getting from each customer, you'll be far more successful than if you try to go for the record. Growth should scale with the business capabilities, not break those capabilities. If you think about what is the cause of your growth and what is the costs of your growth, you'll learn a lot about your possibility of success. Let me give you an example. If you are going out and finding new customers and having to acquire new people in order to service those new customers, you may be showing tremendous growth, but you're not setting your company up for success. It is far better to take an existing customer and get more money out of him than it is to get a second or third or a fourth customer. Spend your money wisely in expanding the amount of money coming in, because your goal is to expand that amount of money with the least amount of effort on your part while maintaining quality. We have absolutely had the opportunity to wreck ourselves with too rapid growth. Salespeople are always trying for that. They're always trying to make promises to a new customer and get just do this one thing for the customer, and we find ourselves over and over and over doing tasks that do not serve multiple customers, but serve one customer who may not even yet be a customer. That is a disaster, and we've had to fight that. Salespeople are among the worst at making you do that. For example, if you have to modify a product for this one customer to get this one sale, that's a very silly thing to do, because you can't replicate that. It won't help you. If you, on the other hand, find that there's an advancement that you can make that you could sell to all of your customers and upsell them, so much the better. Don't try to change for a single client unless that, single client's the federal government. Instead, make changes that are replicable, that apply to multiple clients, that acquire more clients for you, and that expand the amount of sales that each client gives you. That's the only way to do it. If you're going to make changes to your product line, if you're going to make changes to your way of selling, make sure it serves a multitude of clients. You have to decide, because I've had single clients or one primary client, often the federal government, or a large corporation, in which it was decidedly worth pleasing them and doing what they wanted, because they were paying us an awful lot of money. On the other hand, I have had large corporations sling me around, say do this and then do this and then do that, but they never wound up paying us for any of this stuff. That you have to nip in the bud very quickly. Growth is a season. Progress is a system. You want to make steady progress with your company. You do not always do that by increasing revenue. Too many people chase the viral growth. What you really want to chase is the repeatable growth. The growth that applies to many customers, the growth that today, tomorrow, next year is going to be bringing more and more money into your company without requiring a lot of extra work. Progress is the involvement of your leadership team in the goals of the company and the success of the company. It is the involvement of your customers in the goals of the company and the success of the company. And the way that you measure that is very straightforward. What are they paying you, and what do you have to expend to get that payment? The most important question you should ask yourself is, am I building something that will last and expand on its own merits? Or are you building something that just looks flashy today? Because if you're building something that looks flashy today, it will not be there tomorrow. But if you're building something that you can build on top of, that you can add to, that you can expand customer needs, you'll find that you will be much more successful, and your company will too. Is making sure you have systems in place that are applicable over time, and that lead to slow success. Rapid success is great, but it often requires too much expense, too much effort on the part of a company, too many hiring of new people that you can't possibly train in time. Make sure you have set up for steady growth, not for sudden spurts.